Hello folks, my name's David Edgar, I'm the host of Heart and Hand, the Rangers podcast, and I'm joining you to discuss Rangers' thumping 3-0 victory over Hearts at Ibrox this evening. And for those of us who may be wondering what a post-Alfredo Morelos Rangers will look like, I think tonight we saw it with Steven Gerrard mixing it up a little bit, not going with the tried and tested 4-3-3. And we played to the strength of Jermaine Defoe, who was the striker tonight. And Rangers looked very, very good indeed against a team that packed their defence. Hearts, several times in the first half, had 10 men in their own sort of 25-yard area. And it was quite clear that they were looking to try and frustrate that. And why wouldn't they? Because it's a tactic that's been used, particularly by Aberdeen, for example, very successfully against Rangers this season, but it never really looked like it would tonight. Rangers had to bring in John Flanagan at left back with Andy Halliday suspended and Borna Barisic injured. But then some interesting changes further up the field. The midfield lined up with Glenn Kamara, Ryan Jack and also Stephen Davis. But Scott Arfield was playing at look nominally where Daniel Candeias normally would, Candeias on the bench, but Arfield played much further in and there was an awful lot of movement among the Rangers midfield and strikers. Ryan Kent was basically free to go where he wanted. Glenn Kamara, who had an excellent match, was box to box, and Stevie Davis sat deep, allowing Jack and Kamara to get that bit further forward and support the front line, who interchanged constantly. And it gave Hearts unexpected problems. It was something that, as fans, we didn't expect, and it worked terrifically. And it's great because we've been crying out for it. Trying the same thing hasn't worked, and that's a complaint if you watch these videos of mine that you'll have heard. I was delighted to see what Rangers did tonight, and it worked very well. Early on, very early, I think 2 minutes, Jermaine Defoe's had a goal ruled out for offside. I haven't seen it back. It looked very close from where I was sitting. I thought he looked on. But it didn't take long for the breakthrough to come. When it came, it was James Tavernier, who had an excellent match, looked determined to make up for Sunday. He skipped down the wing, fired the ball across, the keeper knocked it out. Jermaine Defoe still had a lot to do, but volleyed it home into the roof of the net with a controlled finish. Defoe had an excellent match, and it's almost like playing to his strength. You see why he was a top international striker for many years. You can't just play him in the Morelos-shaped hole that's left when Alfie's out and expect him to play exactly like that and change nothing. And I think that's been a gripe among the support, that we've just continued to do the same thing and get the ball wide and fire crosses in. And Defoe's looked lost, and you've wondered quite what the point of signing him was. Tonight we played up to him, we played balls through to him, we had 3 or 4 guys in behind that were trying to make stuff happen, and when we were probing and going side to side, it was always with the intention of breaking through. Tonight there was just an intensity to Rangers play that's been sadly lacking so often this season. We then got the second, a terrific ball in from James Tavernier from a free kick. Up rose Connor Goldson to thump a header into the bottom corner, and the game looked done already. Rangers did let Hearts into it a little bit in the last sort of 10-15 minutes of the half. Alan McGregor making a brilliant save from a Christophe Berra header. But after half-time, Rangers come out and killed it. Again, Tavernier down the right-hand side, another great cross into the middle. There was Jermaine Defoe to touch it towards goal. Unfortunately, it was a brilliant save by the keeper, but the rebound was put away by Scott Arfield, and he still had a lot to do because he was going away from goal, but he managed to spin and smash it into the roof of the net, and it was done at that point. Rangers had more chances, couldn't add to their lead, but in the end it played out into a fairly routine victory for Rangers in a season where we haven't had as many routine victories as we would have needed. So it's all pretty much positive on the night. Obviously it's not going to affect the destination of the title too much, sadly, but there was a lot of encouraging factors for Rangers. It was Stephen Davis's best game since he came back. He was playing deeper, he looked much more confident, much more assured, and that's the Stephen Davis I think we thought we were getting. And Jermaine Defoe also, it was his best game as well. It was almost to me like the Rangers players without Morelos had to step up and do different things. There was no Morelos. Candeias being left out meant that we couldn't just revert to knocking the ball wide and getting crosses in. Kent was much more central. We were much more damaging. That's a Rangers team I want to see going forward, or at least that way of playing. Morelos, because of his ability to just take a ball that really he shouldn't have won in the first place, he'd no right to win, and then bulldoze his way through, masks a lot of the time that the team can sometimes, I think, abdicate responsibility. Like the second half of the weekend, like today, it's almost like not having him there meant that they had to step up, and tonight they really did, and it's an excellent victory. Hearts are a decent side, they've got a very good defence normally, and for us to beat them really so easily bodes very well indeed. I'll be back to talk about this with my guests in a lot more detail on Heart and Hand Extra tomorrow. But if you want even more from us, please come to Heart and Hand on Patreon. That's patreon.com/Heart and Hand, where for $1.99 you can get up to 5 shows every single day. Come and try it for a month. Honestly, at 50p a week, you won't get much better value, and I swear you will like it. Thank you very much for listening to me. I'll be back to talk to you on Sunday after Rangers take on Motherwell. Till then, you have a great weekend. Bye-bye.